It will be a repeat of the group stage match for the AFCON final, just like in 2019 when Senegal faced Algeria in the group phase, and then in the final afterwards, once again, Cote d'Ivoire faced Nigeria in the group stage, and they will meet off once again in La Finale. Can you believe it? Well, who would have thought it, that Cote d'Ivoire, after getting absolutely spanked 4-0 by Equatorial Guinea, will now meet Nigeria in the final on the same pitch in Abidjan at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium. It's quite extraordinary. When Ghana were 2-0 up against Mozambique, if Ghana had won that game, Cote d'Ivoire would have been out. Like, if it's just extraordinary circumstances. If Tunisia had got something in the last group game, or Zambia or Tanzania, Cote d'Ivoire would have been out. Can you believe they've made the final? They sacked their coach after the group phase because they were that confident that they were going to be eliminated, and now he's come in and he's got them in the final. And of course, in the other game, Nigeria, also from Group A, have also made it to the AFCON final after defeating South Africa on penalties. Ronwen Williams, they got inside his head. They were putting penalties down the middle. Ronwen doesn't like staying in the middle, and the one that Nigeria did miss was one that went over the bar from Ola Aina. And we'll start with that game. What a semi-final that was. South Africa played much better in this semi-final than they did against Cape Verde. I think Hugo Bruce said it as well. They were poor against Cape Verde and they won. South Africa today, they should have beaten Nigeria. They were far better than their quarter-final performance, and they lost. That's football, unfortunately. What a moment, a penalty that Nigeria dispatched with troost-ekong. Unfortunately, Ron Wen couldn't save that one. Even though the ball went under him, he went the right way, but it went under him. So unlucky. You're thinking, I keep saying, is this Osimhen's moment? He makes it too, but it's disallowed because there's a penalty down the other end for South Africa. The drama from that minute onwards was absolutely extraordinary. Thinking, here we go again. Nigeria choking a semi-final, just like they did with that Mahrez free kick. And South Africa, up step McKenna, he scores 1-1. Those last 10 minutes, South Africa just went, you know what, Nigeria's heads have gone. They took off Iwobi. They took off Moses Simon. They were celebrating like they'd won the game. Disallowed. We make it 1-1. By the way, how many disallowed goals has Osimhen had at this cup? I made that 4 or 5 goals. Osimhen disallowed from VAR. Quite extraordinary when you think about it. But I've got to say, I think right at the death, South Africa have a free kick. I think, is it McKenna that kicks it? And the rebound for me. Nwabali is being treated like a hero. If that went in, he would not have been treated like a hero. He would have been treated like a zero. I know Nigerians are in love with Nwabali right now, who ironically plays in South Africa for Chippa United, and maybe that's why he was able to get in the heads of the players and the penalties. But is it Madao? The rebound, he skied it. It's not even close. It's not even hit the target. Smash the rebound in either corner. You've sent South Africa to the final. There's no time left after that. I cannot believe he skied it. And from that chance on, the momentum, I think, swung back in Nigeria's favour from that moment, because you've got the mental block of it's 2-0 then 1-1. It's all with South Africa. You miss a chance like that, Nigeria go back to them. Suddenly they think it's their night. You see an extra time. Osimhen, it's a big call to take off Osimhen. Moffy is on, wins a penalty instantly. Red card, ref got it right. It was outside the box. South Africa played for penalties at that point onwards, and McKenna was the one that went from hero to zero, misses his. And then Evidence Magopa, who has really split the South African fan base down the middle, not going to do himself any favours by having that penalty saved by Nwabali as well. You think if Ola Aina skies his and then Evidence scores his, we're back level. Always South Africa were playing catch up in that shootout. But listen, they've got to semi-finals. They've lost on penalties. They've done far better than most people expected. Probably far better than most South African people expected. They've still got the third place position to play for. I think Bafana can be very proud of their tournament. And Cote d'Ivoire, probably their best knockout stage performance. They dominated DR Congo. Obviously, a lot of bad stuff happening back home in DR Congo. You see that with the national anthem. I love the solidarity with the people back home. And even the manager, Sébastien Desabre, was doing the gesture as well. So big up to them for doing that. But Ivory Coast didn't dominate Senegal, didn't dominate Mali. They did dominate DR Congo. I'm in shock from DRC. I said Haller will have a point to prove. They finally got Haller and Adingra fit enough to start. It paid off. listen, whether he meant it, Haller, or he didn't mean it, you can let me know in the comments. Either way, I think Mpassi has some question marks over how far off his line in this positioning he was. Haller nearly caught him out of a chip again. There were warning signs in the first half. I think Kessié hit the post for Cote d'Ivoire. They got away with it at half time. Listen, you go 1-0 down, you can change it. They went 1-0 down against Guinea last time, they changed it, they won the game. When they went 1-0 down, they never looked like getting back in it. You backed Cote d'Ivoire to make it 2-0, you never backed DRC to get back in it. I don't know what happened. The 3 subs happened, we saw Banza and Shibola a lot earlier than usual, it just didn't happen. So ultimately, we get the Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, the 2 big names on paper in the final. We have Cote d'Ivoire, a host nation, in the final. That's not happened for nearly 20 years. And Nigeria, with a couple of players in the squad that have won it before. Same with Cote d'Ivoire, you know, people like Aurier, and you've got people like Kenneth Omeru, Ahmed Musa, we've barely seen at the Cup. So we hope it's a good final, but a great effort from South Africa and Congo to get this far. Narrow defeats for both. And I guess third place match for them. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you next time.